Welcome to the Government News Brief for Monday, April 24, 2017. In the news this evening, recipients of the government's turnkey houses will soon get access to their homes, community policing officers urged to acquaint themselves with modern-day crimes, and government ministers met with residents of some Region 10 communities over the weekend to listen to their concerns. These and other stories when the news returns. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. I am Tiffany Rojas. Here are the details. Recipients of the government's turnkey houses will soon get access to their homes as the Central Housing and Planning Authority, CHNPA, begins wrapping up remedial works on defective houses. Gabriella Patram has the details.
Rated the highest success of the previous administration housing program, the Turnkey project came under scrutiny after defects were detected in the structures of the completed building, constructed at Perseverance East Bank, Demerara, even before the beneficiaries moved into their homes. Millions of dollars were spent by the CHNPA to correct the defects to the houses before the recipients can occupy them. Project manager Kenneth Dazzle says this effort will be 100% completed by the end of the week.
We started in September 1 last year. We started to correct some of those defects, and as I said before earlier, we should be wrapping that up by the end of this week. We had some bit of delay over the last few weeks with a couple of administrative issues, but that's done. So this program will be definitely completed fully before the end of this week here, which will see all 200 buildings having some amount of work redone on them.
The previous government had constructed approximately 200 turnkey homes at Perseverance site. As a consequence of the defects, despite allocating more than 100% of these homes to beneficiaries, less than 50 are occupied. Dazzle explains as the CHNPA correct defects, occupancy is steadily increasing.
The level of occupancy has been rising. I mean, every day we have 2-3 persons moving in now. So again, over the next few weeks, I definitely would like to see, the whole area populated with all persons coming back on board. Because before time, the defects and stuff, persons, they vacated. But now we're in the latter stages of this program.
In 2011, the previous administration commenced the construction of the turnkey housing in several housing schemes, namely Providence, Echoes, Monrepo, Good Hope, Zealot, and Lenora. The program had also created for 1,000 of these homes, costing $4.9 million each at Perseverance New Housing Scheme. Only 200 of these houses were completed before developing defects such as splitting concrete walls, shifting roofs, and leaking toilets and septic tanks were defective, forcing some of the homeowners who had begun to occupy the houses to move out. For the Government News Brief, Gabriella Patram.
Minister of Public Security Kemraj Ramjatan urges community policing officers to familiarize themselves with modern-day crimes. Isaiah Braffett tells us why.
The call was made during a celebration of the Community Policing Group's 44th anniversary in Borbis last Saturday. The CPGs were commended for the tremendous amount of work they have been doing over the years in reducing crime. However, Minister Ramjatan urges the officers to familiarize themselves with some of the modern-day crimes.
We are also having a huge number of other types of crimes that the organization 41 years ago could not have foreseen. We are having a number of crimes of the variety like trafficking in human persons, what is called modern-day slavery. It is especially important that our CPGs in the interior become acquainted with what this is all about so that they can help supplement the police efforts in ensuring that we catch those types of criminals that were not known 41 years ago.
Minister Ramjatan reveals that very soon the government will be laying the cybercrime bill in the National Assembly. The bill, the minister says, will deal with crimes such as child pornography and cyber terrorism.
We must understand that these people that want to do terrorist acts can take the forms and varieties of even people from within your own community. And we have to be careful of that. And we have to be prepared for that. And so it is important that whilst these criminals are evolving into a smarter order and crimes of a variety of nature evolving into child pornography and internet criminality, we too, as CPG members, must also evolve so that we can counter those at the level of being a supplement to the police force.
The minister also calls on the CPGs to continue building relationships with members of their communities and to sharpen their interpersonal relationships. Isaiah Braffett, Government News Brief.
The Region 5 administration is seeking to launch an initiative to curb the high suicide rates plaguing Mahaica Berbice. Find out more in this Neola Damon report.
Regional Executive Officer, REO, Ovid Morrison, says that the administration will seek to address the issue in a holistic manner as well as drug abuse, which is also rampant. The REO hopes the initiatives implemented to curb the issues will aim to educate and protect youths.
We cannot attack it thinking that is one problem. Some people have the theory that is frustration. Some people have the theory that is unemployment. Some people have the theory that is lack of education. But I'm saying we need to examine it as a combination and find a solution to it. All of those factors may be determinant or influential with others, but we need to sit down and find the answers to those things. They're not doing it. Many of us as adults, we are not facing reality that we passed through a period where we were very experimental in our thoughts, and therefore young people is no different today than our era.
Morrison disagrees with the way the issues are highlighted through the media and feels that this could be done better.
We have to understand what we're not hiding nothing from them, but what we are supposed to guard them from. We have to understand how we are to do it intelligently so that they would not feel as though we are insulting them.
It has been recorded that Region 5 has one of the highest suicide rates in the country, with 8.8% suicide prevalence. Morrison notes that though efforts to reduce suicide rates in the region will take some time, the youth will have to play a key role in this regard. Additionally, the Ministry of Public Health Mental Health Unit will be implementing a self-harm screening tool, which will help to identify and counsel persons who have attempted suicide or practiced self-harm. Neola Damon for Government News Brief.
Government continues to be taken to the people. Residents of Victory Valley are among the latest to share their concerns and interact with the government team. Delon Sanko has more.
Minister of Social Protection Amna Ali and team visited the Region 10 community on Saturday and listened to the residents' concerns. Minister Ali says that the visit helps citizens to also understand what the government is doing.
We want to have a first-hand look. We want to interface with residents of various communities.
Residents of the community requested that several challenges be dealt with. They asked for assistance to address the garbage collection issue, road repairs, land titling issue, and a recreational facility for children, among others.
We would like to see some garbage collection being done in this valley because we're getting that call. I can't remember the last year I saw a garbage tractor or truck in this valley.
My concern is that in our society we have people of all walks of life. And we go through phrase and experience, and there are a lot of people, elderly persons that we need to reach out to, and those people that are single parents, the needy, the poor, even the little children, and there are not enough jobs provided. Sometimes I am doing on the DNI work. I work for the school, they can't pay me bill. I do other jobs to go and get money, and when I work a certain time, people don't want to pay me, they don't pay me.
Drainage. Because you got a lot of debris in the bush, in the creek. If you take long ago, you used to use high mark. But now because of people living near the fencing, you can't get high mark to be there because when persons dig the creek, they don't dig it deep enough. Right? So if they could get a smaller high mark, that could pass in the area, because the other knows a small high mark.
Minister Ali expressed his satisfaction with the session since she had an opportunity to hear directly from the residents.
I think today was a very successful meeting because residents raised a number of issues, and while the solutions are not here immediately, I will be looking into many of the matters. For example, the recreational park, I want to put that as priority on my agenda, and I will speak with the minister responsible for that area to see what help we can give in that respect. With regards to land titling also, which is a major issue raised by the residents, I am going to be speaking with the Ministry of Housing because, you know, we hear from the residents and we now have to examine the issues and see what we can do for them.
Mayor of Linden, Carwin Holland, says he was pleased with the visit since it was more than 10 years since any government minister visited the community. Delon Sanko for the Government News Brief.
Residents of Kairuni Region 10 are asking for government to regularize their lands. Senika Thorne reports.
One of the most common issues that came out of a recent ministerial outreach to the community of Kairuni Region 10 was land regularization. The residents said that the issue has been prolonging for the past 5 years. Applications were sent to the Guyana Lands and Survey Commission, GLSC, and inspection fees were paid. They are, however, calling on the government to intervene.
Try many times. We do application, pay inspection fee. I think one time lands went in the area. We do a brief drive run. 1-2 people probably met with them, but most of the residents did not. After them, no trace of land anymore was around. But so far, we have lands here this afternoon on August, and it's very important that we come to the root of the understanding of whether this Kairuni community is in any process in terms of working out, regularizing the land.
The GLSC Senior Land Admin Officer, Region 4, Manisa de Rimple, said that due to the lack of resources, the Commission was unable to proceed with the regularization process. De Rimple explains that the Commission is committed to starting the process soon. She says that there are a few steps that the Commission will have to take before issuing the titles.
Based on how the persons are occupying, you can't get the light or you can't get the water. So we'll have to do a design for the area. So in some instances, if you have a fence, you might have to redesign your fence. So we'll have to design the area. After designing the area, then we'll do something called a cadastral survey. Based on that survey, then your title would be issued.
Meanwhile, Minister within the Ministry of Communities, Don Hastings-Williams, requests the residents to provide a copy of their documents, including their applications and receipt, so that a proper follow-up can be done. Additionally, the residents also raised concerns of children not being able to attend school because of the lack of transportation. Minister Hastings-Williams says that she will make representation to address this issue.
I tried to do a little research before I came, and I learned that you had problems with transportation for your children, which I take as a priority this afternoon because I think it's very, very important. Our children must get access to quality education. Despite transportation must not be a setback for them. Food must not be a setback for them.
This outreach is part of a series of ministerial outreaches being conducted countrywide to listen to and interact with the citizens in order to address their concerns. For the Government News Brief, Senika Thorne reporting.
We have come to the end of today's edition of the Government News Brief. The details of these and other stories can be found on GINA's website. GINA has an active Facebook page, and we encourage you to visit and like us so you can be informed as the news unfolds. Do join us tomorrow for another edition of the Government News Brief. I am Tiffany Rogers. Have a great evening.